I'm Walker and welcome back to All About Nails, where we do vegan nail polish brand comparisons and reviews to help you build the best vegan and cruelty-free nail polish collection for you. Today I am so excited to be talking about some of my absolute favorite polishes from Zoya Nail Polish. These are their nude, neutral, and gold pixie dust formulas. And I've selected 5 polishes that I think fit into this category. There might be others that you would loop in here as well. I know they have a couple that are more silver leaning, but I tried to stick to the ones that are neutral, nude, and gold to compare those. So if you're not familiar with Zoya's pixie dust formula, these polishes are packed with glitter, like 100% glitter, and they dry down matte. So that means that the base is not a glossy polish. The base is a matte polish, which really makes the glitter just kind of stand out because the glitters aren't mattified, so it's not like you just put top coat over glitter. It is a matte base that doesn't really shine off your nail, and then the glitters just like gleam off your nails. They're so beautiful. And they have 2 versions of this formula. They have the original formula, which is these really like fine glitters that are really, really small and just create this like totally even sheen of sparkle over your nail. And then they have the magical pixie dust formula, and the magical pixie dust formula has a little bit chunkier glitter, so it's got some hex glitter in it, and it's just really, really pretty. They're both really pretty. So I am going to be comparing some from the original formula and some from the magical pixie dust formula. So for all of these polishes, I put 2 coats on, so I'm actually not going to show you swatches of applying them because I think what's more interesting about these is not necessarily how they apply, but how they compare to one another so that you can pick the one that you're most excited about or the ones that you're most excited about. So I'm not going to show live swatches today. I will show both swatch photos of myself wearing these polishes and then also bottle shots so you can see up close all of the gorgeous glitter that is in these polishes. And then at the end, we'll kind of compare the polishes together and talk about the ones that I liked the most, the ones that I thought were best for my personal skin tone, and compare them to a couple other polishes in the Zoya collection. So stay tuned for some bottle shots. Levi is described by Zoya as a beige gold, and it is a textured pixie dust, just like the rest of these polishes. This one has medium holographic hex glitter, so it's a little bit smaller than the magical pixie dusts, but bigger than the traditional pixie dusts. And Zoya says this shade was designed to take a classic neutral and give it a little bit more glam. Alright, next up we have Lux, and Lux is kind of the oddball out in this grouping. It's actually described as a rose quartz sparkle, and on the swatch that you'll see in a minute you can see a lot of the pink compared to the other polishes that I brought into this. But I really think that when you wear this polish you don't see as much of the rose quartz, at least on my skin tone, and so for me it was a pretty neutral one. Okay, this one is Bar, and Bar has the same formula as what we just looked at, which was Lux. It's one of the magical pixie dusts, and it's described by Zoya as a glittery nude topaz, and it's in the magical pixie dust formula, so again, if you look closely, you'll see some of those much bigger chunks of hex glitter. Okay, now we're looking at the 2 traditional pixie dust formulas. So this first one is Godiva, and Godiva is described as a soft nude with a sugared sparkle. And I think this one is really soft. I think you can see that it's not super loud. It's really just this really beautiful neutral. The last polish that we're looking at today is Tomoko, and Tomoko is described by Zoya as a romantic champagne silver. And Tomoko, in my mind, is a little bit silver, but it's got a lot of gold in there. And it really is just a gorgeous nude. It's got a little bit more glitz and glam than Godiva, the one that we just looked at. Alright, so now we're going to look at some comparisons of these kind of up close to each other. So first we have here all 5 of the polishes that we're looking at today. So all 5 of these compared, you can really, I think, see in this picture the like much bigger hex glitter that's in Bar and Lux at the bottom there. First we're going to look at the 3 that do not have the super big hex glitter. So Godiva and Tomoko are those 2 kind of traditional pixie dust formula, and then Levi again has that medium hex glitter. I think in this light you can see those bigger pieces kind of sending the light back at the camera. They're not huge, but they're definitely there. So Godiva and Tomoko are the two that are the classic pixie dust formula. So you can see they're matte, there's glitter sparkling, but the base is not like glossy or shiny. And I think you can see that, you know, all the glitter is really, really small. I think this picture also shows that, you know, Tomoko on the bottom is a little bit of like a brighter metallic color. It's like a little bit of a brighter gold, whereas Godiva is much more neutral. But then if we bring Levi in, you know, you can see those bigger particles, you can see the big hex glitter, and you can also see the more yellow gold color, which really makes the other two look more neutral. Okay, here are two magical pixie dusts. This is Bar and Lux. And like I said, Lux is described as being rose quartz, and I think when you look at these two next to each other, you really can see the pink tones in Lux. But if you remember back to my swatch photo, you know, on my skin tone, they kind of disappeared and it became much more neutral. Bar is definitely this really like soft neutral color. I think they're both beautiful. I loved both of these polishes. Alright, now we're going to look at some other polishes from Zoya's collection just to give you some more reference points. So here's Solane. This is their other gold pixie dust, and this one is definitely much more of like a super yellow gold. This is not a nude or a neutral by any means. It's beautiful in its own right, but definitely didn't belong in this category. Alright, and here is a new polish. This is Nahla. This is one of the toppers, the unicorn toppers that came out in the summer collection in 2018. And Nahla has a almost totally clear base with really big like yellow gold hex particles. And so I just wanted to kind of show you how the color of Nahla differs from the polishes that we're looking at today. And so if we look at it, you know, up close compared to Bar, I think you can see the size of the particles is pretty similar, so there is very similar glitter in here, but obviously the matte finish of the pixie dust makes this a totally different polish. And if we look at it next to Levi, I think you can see that even though Levi does look a little bit more gold next to Godiva and Tomoko, next to Nahla, I think you can see that it is a little bit more neutral. It's not quite as blingy. It is really pretty, but definitely, you know, more of a nude or neutral polish. Alright, and this is a fun one. Ziv is Zoya's kind of gold foil polish, and I like this because I think it gives a really good contrast to show you how like muted and neutral these polishes are. Even though they have a ton of glitter in them, they are not as kind of yellow gold blingy as Ziv is. And so they are really exciting. There's a lot of party in these polishes, but they're definitely, you know, a little bit muted and a little bit more neutral. Alright, and then our final comparison today is going to be Brighton. Brighton is probably the most similar to these polishes, but Brighton is Zoya's nude holographic polish, and it was new in the Bridal Bliss collection in 2018. If we look at it here next to Godiva, you can see that the colors are very, very similar, and kind of the level of glitter intensity is really similar as well. But obviously Brighton is not a matte polish, and so it does reflect a lot more of that holographic glitter back off the nail. And up here, if we look at it close to Tomoko, I think that Tomoko is not really the same color as Brighton, so these polishes are pretty different. So I don't think you can just throw, you know, a glossy top coat on either Godiva or Tomoko and end up with Brighton. I think that all three of them are pretty different. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. Let's talk about some final thoughts here. I tried to pick my favorite of the original formula and my favorite of the magical pixie dust formula, and I think honestly you couldn't go wrong with any of these. For me, it was just thinking about like when I'm usually gonna wear nail polish, and I don't wear a ton of like super glittery nail polish. So for me, if I'm gonna wear a lot of glitter, it needs to be, you know, something that I can kind of pull off like at the grocery store, at work, on a regular day. And so for me, you know, some of these were really gorgeous and really fun. Like Levi was just absolutely stunning, but it's a little too bright, a little too shiny, not quite something I can wear on an everyday polish. So I decided instead that my favorite of the original formula is actually Godiva, and this is a super nude base with that packed silver shimmer, packed. And I like this one because it almost looks like a nude polish, and then when you look closer you see the texture, you see the glitter. It's so fascinating. So Godiva was my favorite of the original formula. I've worn this to work a couple times. I get compliments on it, but it's not like that's not the first thing they see when they look at me, right? They're not seeing that right away. You just kind of notice it when you look a little bit closer, which is probably my favorite kind of polish to wear to work. So for an everyday, definitely go with the Godiva. And then between Bar and Lux, which are the two more neutral of their magical pixie dust formulas, I picked Bar. When I wore Bar, I felt like a ballerina. I don't know if that makes any sense. It felt like I was wearing like nylons with sparkle on them. Like my nails just looked so like smooth and nude, and then there were these like chunks of hex glitter. It was just stunning. And you know, like, could I wear this like on a Monday to work? Like probably not. Did I wear it to work when I was swatching it? Yeah, absolutely. But I wore it on a Friday, so it felt a little more appropriate. But I thought Bar was really, really fun. I would wear this to go out with friends, to dinner on the weekend. I just thought this was really gorgeous. So this was my favorite. The rose gold color in Lux, I didn't really see the rose. It just looked like clear on my nails. I don't know if maybe on another skin tone you would see the pink a little bit more. So it wasn't my favorite. It was pretty, but I really liked the nude base in Bar. I just thought it looked really gorgeous on my nails. So Godiva and Bar are the two that I will wear all the time. I will wear the other ones, but these are definitely my favorites. So thanks so much for watching. As always, if you like this video and you want to see more like it, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And follow me on Instagram at allaboutnails to see swatches of these polishes and others as I wear them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.